1, you're going to notice they got square feet and they want me to convert to square yards. I have to remember that 1 yard is equal to 3 feet. And if I'm looking to square this, that 1 square yard is equal to 9 square feet. So, if I take and figure out how many square feet are in this figure, I'm just going to draw a line across there. That would have made this 3 units by 4 units. So there would have been 12 square feet here. This would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I would have taken 14 times 6. This would have been 84. The 84 plus the 12 would have been a total of 96 feet squared. But I've got to remember that I've got to divide this now by 9 feet squared to get to my yard squared. So 96 divided by 9 is actually 10.66 repeating. So the answer to 1 is A. In number 2, it says, now let the figure show a scale drawing of a park with the largest dimension equal to 63 meters. So you'll notice that 14 units then they are saying is going to be equal to 63 meters. So since I want a unit rate, I'd take 63 and divide it by 14. And 63 divided by 14 is 4.5. So 1 unit is 4.5 meters. The correct answer is B. Remember that the sum of 2 sides of a triangle have to be greater than the third side. So they're looking for which of the following could be the measure of the third side. So I'm looking for a number that I can add to 25 that's going to make it greater than 35. 25 and 3 is only 28. 8 and 25 is 33. That won't work either. 25 and 6 is 31. But 25 and 11 would give me 36. So the correct answer is D. A triangle has 2 sides that measure 5 and 7. Which of the following cannot? Again, so the sum of 2 sides has to be greater than the third side. If I take a look, 5 plus 7 is 12. 12 is not greater than 12, so D could not make a triangle. A store sells towels for 25% off the regular price. The regular price of a beach towel is $24.50. Which expression represents the sale price? So remember that if it's 25% off, normally I'd pay 100%. So I'm actually only paying 75% of that particular item. This is a review question from something that we did earlier this year. 75% is 0.75. So the correct answer for this would have been B. The right rectangular prism below has a square base. The following could be the shape of a cross-section of the prism except. So there is no way to get a circle from a cross-section of a right rectangular prism. I could get a parallelogram if I kind of drew it in diagonally. I could get a square since it does have a square base. I certainly could get a rectangle in many different ways. Which of the following can form a cross-section? A point and a triangle, a plane and a cone, a circle and a square, a line and a point. The only way to get a cross-section is to actually take a plane and cut it through a three-dimensional shape, so the correct answer is B. When doing problems like this one, I would make sure that I filled in anything that I could fill in prior to actually working out the problem. If this is 63 degrees, I also know that this is 63 degrees. What is the measure of angle PVU? PVU is here, so PVU would be 63 degrees, which describes the relationship between QVP, which is here, and PVU, which is here. And they share vertex, and they share a side, which means they are adjacent angles. I do not know that they're complementary. They may look like 90 degrees, but I'm not sure. They're certainly not supplementary. They don't make a straight line. They're not vertical because they're not opposite of each other. A scale drawing for a rectangular parking lot measures 6.8 by 12.3. The scale is 5 centimeters to 25. So I'd set this up as a proportion, 6.8 centimeters compared to 5 centimeters over 25 meters. This is where my x would be. And 12.3 centimeters over x would be the same as 5 centimeters over 25 meters. When I cross multiply, this would give me 25 times 6.8, which would be 170, is equal to 5x, and I would divide both sides by 5. This would be 34 meters. I'd do the same thing on this one, 25 times 12.3, 307.5 is equal to 5x, and I would divide that by 5. 61.5 meters. They asked me to find the area, so I'd take 34 meters times 61.5 meters. And I'd have 2,091 meters squared, and again it's squared because we're talking about an area. The scale drawing below is the base of an office building. The scale is 1 unit to 6 feet. Redraw the scale using a scale of 1 unit to 4 yards. Okay, if I'm drawing it 1 unit to 4 yards, I have to remember that I want to convert this, number 1. So this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. 6 times 6 would have been 36. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 times 6 would have been 120. I want to take each one of those numbers and divide it by 3 to convert it to yards. 36 divided by 3 would give me 12 yards. 120 divided by 3 would give me 40 yards. They want 1 unit for 4 yards, so I'd take the 12 divided by 4. This would be 3 units up. 1, 2, 3 units up. And I'd divide this also by 4, and it would be 10 units across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 units across. So my new rectangle would actually be right there. Number 12, a triangle has an angle measuring 30 degrees and 90 degrees. The length of the included side is 6 centimeters. They said it was a triangle. They said one angle was 30 degrees, one angle was 90 degrees, and this was 6 centimeters. And they're asking, is there enough to make this unique? And again, remember, this fits that category of having angle, side, angle. So the answer is yes, this is unique. And if I was looking for a reason, it would be angle, side, angle. In the space below, draw a triangle with angles 40 and 50 and an occluded side of 2 inches. This would be something that we'd actually have to take the time to draw out. It's important to know, though, that if I was drawing it out, that the included side means the side that's in between these two angle measurements. And it would be in the kind of thing where this would be unique because this would be angle, side, angle. Probably won't have a question like this on the test just because of a time factor. Number 14, describe the cross-section of the cylinder by naming the shape. The shape of this cylinder, when I do the cross-section, would be a circle. Is it possible for a cylinder to have a cross-section of the shape of a rectangle? The answer is yes. If I drew this in vertically, then I would have a cross-section that would be here, and it would be rectangular in shape. Again, when working a problem like this, I might fill in the pieces that I could fill in. They said use this diagram. What is the measure of angle EBD? Angle EBD. I know that I can find this because these two angles have to add up to 180 degrees. 180 minus 47 is 133. I could fill this one in. This one also would be 47. I'm not sure that there would be any other numbers that I could fill in since they did not tell me something was a right angle. What's the relationship between angle ABF and ABD? They are adjacent. They would also be supplementary because they form a straight line. Jenna has $50 to spend at a local craft fair. The entrance price for the fair is $10. At a pottery stand, Jenna finds some cups and she likes that are $4.50 each. What is the maximum number of cups that Jenna can buy? Can she spend all of the $50? And the answer is yes. Okay. So it could be the amount of money that she could spend is what I'm going to compare it to. She has $10 to get in plus $4.50 per each one of those cups. Can she spend all of the 50? The answer is yes. Could she spend more? The answer is no, so it would have to be less than or equal to 50. I would subtract 10 from both sides. I'd have 4.50x is equal to 40. And I would take 40 and divide it by 4.5 and find out that x is less than or equal to 8.8. Since she cannot buy a piece of a cup, the maximum number of cups that she can buy would be 8. Again, this is a review question from something we did earlier, but it's not likely to be on our quiz on Friday.